Good morning, YouTube. Um, this is the second one. First one, I guess I'm yelling too loud and the mic can't take the feedback. So I had to scrap that one and start back over because I want this to be as clear as a bell. To start with, I have my muscle biscuit with a little bit of bologna. Something that I like very much. I know I'm not funny, but the funny thing is now to give everybody a sense of hope. Okay, get ready. For everybody that's been having problems out of their family, friends, neighbors, churches, and all the people that know you, when they see you coming, they're like, and wave at you and dart the other direction. Get ready. Y'all will be start handing out big old chunks of humble pie. I just don't say it no other way. Because for the ones that didn't want to believe the truth, when they keep running around hollering conspiracy theory, not even knowing where the damn phrase was even coined and when it was coined and what it was for, but they can just like the mainstream media parrots everything. There was a song, I think it was Don Henley, and I'm probably not going to quote it exactly right, but I think y'all might get the gist of where I'm coming from with it. Bubble-headed bleach blonde comes on at 5 about a plane crash with a gleam in her eye. I think y'all understand. Okay. I had to pop some cracks in the other video, and like I said, I did not want that to get out on what I'm trying to state here. It took Trump 4 years to get to this election. 2:22 a.m. Trump came out and told everybody that they wanted the election stopped, so there would not be votes being counted at 4 a.m. in the morning. Well, I'll be damned if that ain't what happened. Exactly. So he was telling us and warning the deep state. But did they listen? Nope. It's like the 5-year-old. No. Why? No, it's mine. Well, you got a deep state, an MSM. You have it lock, stock, and barrel with a little pink bow on top. In your Christmas gift that you're running around, it's mine, it's mine, it's mine, has a great big old giant shiny ass turd in it that says, fuck you, you're fucked. Every one of you. Every damn one of you Democrats. Every one of you Republicans / rhinos. Every one of the MSM. Y'all are going down. Okay? Because the individuals out here, we the people, that wasn't willing to wake up to the facts and the truth, and we were all conspiracy theorists, not knowing even where it come from, the term, that y'all gonna be getting a whole lot of visits from your family members, your people from work. They're gonna come up to you. What the hell is going on? Now they have some skin in the fire because they went and cast their vote, and all of a sudden their vote don't count. Why? What the fuck? There's going to be so much proof and evidence, it ain't going to be funny. My understanding is the reason Trump plays the games that he plays, he was raising hell about the mail-in ballots the whole time. Okay. Department of Homeland Security, DHS, was put in charge in handing the ballots out and kept a count. Okay. Where these ballots was going. Blank ballots. And also, it ended up at first, I'm thinking, well, maybe I may be hearing something that I can't verify, but I've done heard like 3-4 other people verify this. Trump had watermarks put in his ballots. Okay. So when Mr. Jones, that went and voted for Trump, finds out that there's 4 other ballots in his name, and every one of them's got Mr. Joe Biden on it, he might get a little offended. Do you not think so? Now, this is the same Mr. Jones that looked at you and me as fucking retarded idiots. We didn't know what we was talking about. Y'all conspiracy theorists. Well, Mr. Jones, I do believe you're going to be revisiting the same old conversation, but this time, the outcome, you might want to take the fucking red pill and have an understanding you got lied to, dummy. Our family members, everything. God love them all. They're part of the human race, just like us. But where they failed to realize then, okay, we had no real reason to be lying to them. We didn't have no functional gameplay to make any kind of constructive money at it or anything. It was just the truth. But the ones that was lying to them was stacking cash left and right, 6 figures a year or better, getting paid under the table by this country, that country, their own politicians, the bankers, the lawyers, the corporate cops. You got people in California videotaping people coming and picking up ballots the 4th and the 5th, okay, in California. You got people that's on Veritas that works in the post office that was backdating ballots for Biden. You got the statistical numbers, okay, just alone, okay, is astronomically impossible, okay, being that 1 + 1 is 2. We ain't supposed to be able to count. We're supposed to be the sheeple. We're supposed to be the dumbasses. We're supposed to be the serfs. Okay? Me and my fiance was watching Greg Hunter the night that they was doing the election and counting. And Greg Hunter, he was funny as shit. Everybody was loving the way he was. I mean, he was bouncing all over the fucking place. He was like a cat on crack. I know it's a crazy analogy for him, but it was still entertaining as shit. He was the whole time, I guess, within 10 minutes or 15 minutes of the broadcast, and it was, I think, 3 or 4 hours long, he started pointing out Virginia. He's like, the hell's going on in Virginia? Okay, they lie to you and straight in your face give you the truth and lie to you at the same time. He's sitting there running his mouth over Virginia, and it's showing Trump being up in the 50 percentile, and only 60% of the votes has come in, but they had Biden checked in the state of Virginia in blue. Well, me and my fiance left Virginia. Okay? We know that fucking place was corrupt. We know that place was no good for anybody that actually had a soul or a spirit or even give a shit about the next day. But there's a lot of people that's still there. Not half of them don't even know what's going on. Like I said, what got us out of there is when they told us that we was going to pay for the rain tax. Okay? Started off as almost a voluntary basis. Then, instead of volunteering it, they put it over onto your taxes on your mortgage, on your taxes on your property. Okay? Didn't give you no choice. And some people in Virginia still don't even know this is going on. They may want to take an account, an audit, okay, of their taxes from when the rain tax, they was talking about it, to now. They might see a big increase in their taxes. But that's up to y'all. Y'all want to be brain dead? These Democratic people and the people that's been running the circus, the shit show, they don't care because they're collecting off of you and yours. You keep paying for their steak dinner and their hookers and their little kids that they rape. Yeah. That last pill is that black pill, and that's going to be a hard one to swallow for a lot of people. But being Trump now has put the icing on the cake, and all the people that was running around didn't think they had no skin in this, okay? If they cast a vote, they got all kinds of skin in this. And they're going to find out their skin was just as good as ours when it come to being flayed and thrown on the grill. I know some of my analogies don't quite fit what y'all would see, but yeah, we was pieces of meat. We sheeple. I done a brief study on, and I've been trying to tell people this too, and somehow or another people can't lock in up here to have an understanding on what they've been lying to us about, like the global population. I'll just, here again, just the math's easy. If there's one way to be born, only. Now, we can claim that there might be two other ways, a test tube baby or a clone, okay? We'll give it three. One for sure, and that takes a sex act that the Lord gave us, and for the population of the homosexuals and gay people, they took your choice away from you when they told you that, oh, you was born with that. No, if you got a dingling, buddy, you're a boy. If you got a little split between your legs, you're a girl. Okay? They took your own humanity away from y'all, and y'all don't even realize yet, y'all will, how y'all been being used. Okay? It ain't no fucking mental capacity up here. If you're born with a dick, you're a guy. Okay? I won't even use the analogy for the girl. Okay, but anyway. For years, they've been playing these games with the population. There's thousands of ways to die. One way for sure to be born. But they say the earth is overpopulated. Y'all do the numbers. Said Social Security is going broke. Okay? How's the Social Security going broke when there's more people dying daily, monthly, weekly, than there is being born? Some people never get to the point of ever collecting Social Security. Get right up there to that last year and die. Paid what? 40, 50 years worth of fucking money to the system? Where did the fucking money go? Social Security's going broke. Bullshit. No, the Democrats is using it to buy big mansions with. Now, my understanding, Trump pulled the Social Security out of the main drag of the government and put it over back into the Treasury Department. Smart move. They just can't openly write a fucking check anytime they feel like it. Now there might be a few checks and balances to keep them from doing it. Trump's been ripping up our gravy trains or tracks and their railroad ties for the last 4 years. We definitely need back our gold standard because that stops a big bunch of fucking crooks. They don't have an open credit card anymore. There's got to be checks and balances because if you have 2 pieces of gold that's got a certain value on them, you can't make them up in a computer because it's a tangible metal. Just like looking at a purple lighter. I know I'm being stupid. But anyway. That go in. Whoever's in charge up there with the so-called 3-letter agency called law and the rule of it. Now, okay, it took the whole organization, the system, the deep state, to create this fraud on the American people when it comes to this voter fraud. It took every one of them to do this. It always connects in spider webs, like I said, the 4 hidden dynasties, to make this functional lie a truth. Because they need to use always a little bit of truth to make that lie work. Then when the lie gets found out, they can lie again because that functional truth's still there, and it flips and makes it look like the truth again. For people who really want to know what the hell's going on, they need to be disbanded, period. Go find you. I'm hearing, I don't know if it's true or not. Sidney Powell, Flynn's lawyer, is somehow going to get pulled out of her private practice and put into our government in the 3-letter rule of law somewhere, okay? Which might be pretty good if she's as good as they claim she is, okay? Then there's another individual who's going to replace Ray's little punk ass, okay? The lying, cheating little bastard that's been running around trying to cover up his dirty dealings along with the Biden crime family, because it links back to him too. It's amazing how they link each other together, thinking that the organization, the bigger it gets, that's supposed to never be, no truth come out. No, the bigger something like that gets, the worse it gets on you, because the truth could come out at any place, any time. I had my uncles, and I run around doing stupid shit as a teenager, explain to me, because their wisdom and logic and what they learned in life, they was trying to explain to me if I ever had to do anything illegal, the first thing is go do it myself, because the only person that can snitch is me on myself. But they, for some reason, they're thinking 100,000 motherfuckers are going to make him safe. No, it just makes it confusing and muddies up the water for everybody. So they don't get caught. But that's a little too late. Now, like I said, Trump just set them all up. Been setting them up. The whole 4 years he's been in there. But now, since the elections is going to be proven a fraud, and it is, it's coming. Like I said, you can't beat the math. 1 + 1 is 2. It always has been. And it always will be. Unless you're a Common Core baby. And if you are, you might want to go back and have yourself rechecked on your math skills. He done the perfect thing. Okay. I watched a thing right before that, one day before the election. Trump put out another campaign ad. And he stated in there that it's been a battle for him and his family last 4 years. And he named off a bunch of things that had been going on. Then he said there was people involved, the enemy, plus a lot of people around him that was claiming to be friend that was enemy too. So he, there again, told us that he knew and knows who these people are. Now he's done got them bound up to where they can't just run out and try to lie about it. Because if they do, it's already been told the truth before they get their lie out there. Especially when it comes to this voting fraud. Get back to Virginia and Greg Hunter. Greg Hunter, like I said, within the first 10 or 15 minutes of the show, was pointing out the fraud in Virginia. Then he started looking at the board all over the place, and he's like, well, damn, this is 98% done. And they have Biden down, but Trump's got most of the vote. He said, how in the hell is that happening? He said, these numbers don't coincide for the so-called winner. And it was the same old, okay? Also, back last month, okay, and I think a few of us kind of suggested it and wasn't for sure that Trump was putting National Guard in states, okay? They was going to be the logistics to get the vaccines out to the hospitals for the so-called pandemic of the CV-19. Well, my understanding that, now I can't prove it yet, but I believe it may come out, and he might keep his mouth shut about it anyway, but never know. But I believe some of these poll sitters and poll watchers was the National Guard in plain clothes, being there in the orders for President Trump to see who was going to be pulling this bullshit off. And I'd be damned if for these places these National Guard was sent, was it about 10 or 11 of these states that's under question right now? Imagine that. Like I said, the world as we know it, the United States as we know it, is about ready to go through some changes like never seen before. Okay. Now, I do know that most of the people that watch me are good people. Okay. I've had conversations back and forth with y'all in a little instant message thing that pops up. And it looks like every one of us pretty much on the same page. Now, I got to say this. You know who God is. Okay. And he sent his only begotten son. It wasn't just to save us from sin. It was for us to have a mouthpiece to go through to get to God. Okay. And y'all got to have an understanding about organized religions. About 80% of them, and that's coming, I've already been seeing bits and pieces of it already. You're going to find out that the man behind the pulpit is not your friend. Even though he might or she might be completely fooled and congested with the lies too and not even know. I'm pretty sure if they have the discerning spirit that the Lord give us, they know, and they didn't take the time to actually give everybody the truth, being that I am not a teacher, and I've had to correct people time and time again, and I hate doing it, but it's like this voice in the back of my head that I do call God, okay, Jesus, telling me to do these things, to correct some of this stuff. If it ain't nothing but that one person, they use these big terms and terminology, preachers, deacons, and all this other crap. It's real simple if you'll take a Webster's Dictionary, at least 20 years old or better, and at least 3 volumes of Black's Law, the originals, okay, and start going through writing these words down like preacher, deacon, pastor, Baptist, Pentecostal, sorry, and start looking up the meanings of these things, you might start seeing how they manipulated you and me. It's like when I bring up the word citizen, that was one of the first words that I actually learned the definition for in Black's Law. And it really didn't change till about the 7th or 8th volume. And a citizen is somebody that's a slave. Okay? Never to own nothing. You don't believe me. I don't want you to. Please don't believe me. Go see for yourself. But like I said, this is a happy 11/5/2020 from me in the flyover state of West Virginia. Robert Firestone, otherwise aka Bobby Wayne Lewis. That's my name. I just know what's coming now. And the can of whoop ass that Trump just opened on these people. It's weird, man. Y'all remember watching the movie, I think it was called Liar or Liar Liar with Jim Carrey, where he's a lawyer. Imagine the Dem Party and the MSM. Okay, if y'all have never seen the movie, I don't care much for Jim Carrey because he's a demonic little devil worshiper, but the movie is cute and funny. It's hilarious. But he has to start telling the truth, and he's an attorney, he's a lawyer. These guys are trained to be actors and liars and good at it. That's part of their class. And I had an attorney tell me this in Virginia, that he spent 2 weeks getting through a part of his law class, that he had to come up with a fictitious, phony case and prove that it was the truth to individuals. And they had to believe him. So anybody wants to holler, oh, I'm an attorney, I'm something special. Yeah, you're special, all right. You're real special. It's brown, it stinks, and it's got corn in it. But anyway, what's yet to come? Barr, Durham. If y'all consider yourself the big S or the big L for law and the rule of law, okay? And I heard Trump state this in this speech at 2:22 a.m. in the morning about something about he wanted to make sure it was done by the law, by the book, okay? That ain't, the Bible tells you that man's law is unjust, okay? There's, like I said, there's a lot about our Bible that man has tried for centuries to corrupt, change, put his way of looking at things, and the Bible being rewrote probably 1,000 times. And then the one I study with is the King James Version. And then I come to find out, I think a year before last, that it really struck me hard that once you go back in history and you study King James and you find out what he was a Satanist, but he wrote our Bible. Okay. I kind of believe like my grandfather. He was a preacher. He also sold moonshine. Um, one of the best preachers in the world is somebody that's done walked through 10,000 miles of hell. Okay. Because they got enough common sense to know what right is and what wrong is. But the ones that's been indoctrinated from high school straight into college to become a preacher, not a teacher like they're supposed to be, they think they've got it right because of all these years of all of these so-called important people studying the Bible and telling them what to say and do. Well, that's one of the four hidden dynasties again too. The educational system. Like I said, anybody wants to try it for themselves, just take you a piece of paper, draw you a line down the middle, leave you some margins between each one of the words: political, the financial, the educational, and the religious system. And start one word and think of all the words or all of the things connected to that one thing only out of the four. Okay. Once you feel like that you've got that accomplished, move to the next one. Then go over here once you're all done with all four of them that you think you are. Start drawing the lines from the ones that you've already wrote down that you think is connected to it. You'll start seeing how they connect to each other down the page. And you start seeing it's a vicious circle. They never wanted us out of it. Thousands of years of this. But hey, main thing is y'all are probably going to start having visitors and phone calls. Now, it's up to y'all on how y'all handle it. You can tell them, I told you so, and hang up on the dummies. It depends on how far they wanted to be idiots with you. But if we are to be the human race and we are to mimic ourselves after Christ, there's a way to correct and in a loving manner. But at the same time, you get your point across, but at the same time, you get to recorrect what these people are thinking, because they're no longer going to have a choice to holler conspiracy theory, not when it's right there in black and white and the figures don't lie. And all of them's connected. The great illusion. Well, the light just got turned on in the projects and the roaches are running fucking all over the place. And before anybody says anything about me and the roaches in the projects, I spent probably about 12 years of my fucking life in the projects. Then I got to go to the White Boy Projects, was known as the trailer park, for another 10 years. So, yes, I've seen both ends of it. I've got black friends, I've got white friends, I've got fucking Hispanic friends. I got to meet people from all over the world by sticking this up and hitchhiking. And I got to see when I come back finally and got my head straight that there's assholes and idiots in every state and every part of this world. But that's my personal beliefs. And like I said, my King James Bible, even though I know the truth about this individual, it dawned on me that no matter what they done to corrupt the Bible, even the King James Version, that the Lord had so much light and truth in that book that no matter what man done to manipulate it, change it, and take things out, put things in, they couldn't take the full truth of the Word away from the Word of God. They tried. Peace to y'all. Have an understanding, get ready. And the people y'all probably never thought would be coming back into y'all's lives because they're right and you're wrong, they're about ready to start showing up. And like I said, handing out a piece of humble pie to these people with the love and understanding that they're part of us too. You know, you might whoop your child's ass for doing something wrong, but that's a correction of something loving, having an understanding that the child could hurt themselves. And boy, have we been stepping on, walking on glass and nails for many, many, many years. But peace to y'all all. And like I said, Trump just set these people up like y'all would not believe. Between the watermarks, between the unvalidated votes, people's coming out of the woodwork everywhere right now telling the truth. Veritas is bringing it out. Trump's going to be bringing it out. Giuliani, if Trump could figure out a way to put at least 10 more of him around him, our whole world would change quick. Because Giuliani's pretty much a straight-laced fucker too when it comes to truth and facts. Even though we all got little things in our closets we're not too proud of. That I know. And we are human. And we are do mistakes. But when you knowingly, like Hillary and Huma and the rest of these idiots that was running around jonesing after something that's 1,000 years old again, like the adrenochrome. Well, kings and queens know about this 1,000 years ago. Go back and do some history. Vlad the Impaler, he sat in front of his castle impaling all these people, was drinking their blood because he felt the power from their blood. That's raw adrenochrome, period. That's history. Just saying. Peace.